What's good, y'all? Elvis here. So, some shit's been on my heart lately. Like, life is kind of kicking my ass at the moment, but not more than it ever has for real. Like, it's actually pretty chill compared to how it used to be. A few months ago, life was really having its way with me, bro. Like, I was not having a good time. I was in a dark place. I had shit on my neck. And, like, still now, I got some shit on my neck, but I realized that I'm the kind of person that I only ever feel comfortable living my life on hard mode. If I don't up the difficulty to challenge me, I get really bored and I feel like the what I'm doing doesn't have purpose. So I think it's a little bit of a superpower because it constantly keeps me on my toes, as well as it makes me realize that I'd much rather be honed and ground down and become a sharper, more effective weapon than to be chilling and be dull and ineffective. You feel me? So I think it benefits me more than it harms me. But lately I've been having this like nagging feeling in my chest like for like a week and some change where I just want to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, not tobacco, but I've been wanting to smoke, and I've realized that whenever I really want to smoke, that always pops up when I'm in the process of dealing with something, or it's something subconsciously bothering me and it hasn't bubbled up to the surface yet. And I was just thinking about that this morning, like, cause I be going on morning walks and just kind of trying to be present and stuff, just mindful practices and whatnot. After my workout, I went for a walk, and I started realizing, like, yo, I feel kind of homesick. And that was a weird thing to me because, like, right now, I don't have a home. You know what I mean? Like, effectively homeless. Like, I got a place to stay, you know what I'm saying? Right now, like, I'm staying with my cousin. I'm renting a room over there. If you've been keeping up with me, like, the last few months have been kind of a whirlwind for me. I gave up the apartment I lived in for 3 years. I downsized a whole bunch of stuff, gave away all my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about for all my furniture, 90% of my belongings, most of, like, everything I own either fits in my car or my closet. I gave everything else away. And I had to do that because I was in a season where I wasn't looking into the abyss, like, hello darkness, my old friend type shit. Like, I was not in a great place, and I really needed to pivot. Right now, looking back, that was a little bit of an overcorrection because I could have sold a lot of shit. Like, I could use the bread right now, I'm not gonna front. I did what I had to do to get to a better place. I'm a lot more at peace now, going through all that and dealing with what I had to deal with. But the whole homesickness started really bothering me because, like, while I don't have a home that is mine right now, it made me realize, like, I haven't had a home in years. I stopped living with my mom when I was 18. I went to college and then got a student apartment or whatnot. Like, that was the first time I had my own room for real. Like, I didn't have my own room till I was paying for that shit. So it was nice to have a space that was mine, but it didn't feel like home. And once I got my apartment, I thought that was what home felt like. The main reason I had the apartment that I had, it was like 2 bedroom, 2 baths. Come on, I didn't need all that space, but I got it so I could be of use to my family. You know what I'm saying? In case my sister needed something, needed a place to stay. Like, let's say a friend possibly needed a place to stay or something. And it wasn't really for me. And I only realized last year that the life that I built wasn't for me. So now I'm realizing I don't think I've really ever had a home, to be honest. The main reason I moved out of my mom's was because it wasn't a good environment for me. It was, not to get too much into it, living with the people in my family dragged me down to a place where I had to suppress myself. And while the actions that they took, for better or worse, were coming from a place of love, I realized that, like, self-love is what we reflect outwards. Loving someone is wanting onto them what you want onto yourself. And if you're struggling with your own self-love and doing what's best for you, you're gonna project that onto other people. So I just realized that, I come from a family where everybody has their trauma. We're all broken to some degree, but I was the only one willing to look at the dysfunction and try to grow past it. And dysfunctional relationships can last years until someone wants to grow out of the dysfunction, and that disrupts the dynamic. And I've realized that, like, while I love them, I have a lot of friends and family that wanted to hold me to the old standard, to their old view of me, to make themselves comfortable. And I knew that doing that was basically suppressing my spirit. It was it was slowly killing me. It was a poisonous interaction. I don't like the word toxic because it's overused, but it was an environment that was slowly putting me in the grave, and I could feel that on a daily basis. Last year was a big year for me. I had to uproot myself out of my environment. I had to cut off many friends and family. That's also why this homesickness feels weird, because it's like, what am I homesick about? Where I lived, who I lived with, the environment that I existed in was killing me. And the way I feel right now, it's like I'm yearning for that similar feeling, because it felt not comfortable but familiar. While I'm in a new stage and having new challenges and I'm growing in new ways, I feel myself yearning for some level of familiarity. But everything that's been familiar to me wasn't for my benefit. It wasn't what God wanted for me, and that's why he made me so uncomfortable enough to shake myself out of that. So I'm just kind of in this weird place where there's a part of me that wants what's not good for me. And not just like how a part of me wants junk food or comfort food and bullshit. A part of me wants to hurt. Not just for the sake of like feeling pain, but it's just, I miss the hurt that I grew up in. And now I'm hurting in new ways, you know what I'm saying? New ways that are growing me. But like right now, I don't feel any level of comfort. And looking back, every time I was uncomfortable, it was a season of growth. But I'm gonna be honest, like how I feel right now, I don't want to grow right now. Like I wanna lay in my old bed. Not like, I mean literally, because I kind of miss my bed. Like I gave my bed away, and that was the most comfortable bed I ever had. I spent money on that bed. You feel me? I'm kind of realizing like my home was never my home. It's just where I laid my head. It's the dysfunction I got accustomed to. There's new challenges I have. There's new goals I'm working towards. I can feel myself running towards these goals so frantically because I don't have a place to rest. Like, I mean, technically I have a place to lay my head and relax and other things. I have people that I can confide in. But my spirit is restless right now. I'm not sure how to go about feeling better, because this is like a new feeling, or I guess it's not even necessarily a new feeling. It's an old feeling that I had never actually dealt with. But I'm also noticing most of the things that I consider problems aren't really problems to solve necessarily. They're just phases to go through. Like right now, I'm antsy about certain money goals and things I want to hit and think like infrastructure I want to create, building legacy things. But at every level I was at, whether it was just, let's say, building foundations of my craft and then building my vision that I want to grow into, there was always a new problem for me to focus my energy towards. But it was never about solving that problem. It was about who I grew into through the process. Not gonna front. Like, I want to smoke. I want to jump into all my vices. I want to be on some bullshit right now. But I know from personal experience that shit never makes me feel better. It's not something that satisfies me. It's something that sedates me for a little bit, and then I have to wake up with the same problems. But also, I recognize that all my problems would disappear if tomorrow I decided to be average. Have average aspirations. I wouldn't be shooting for the stars. I'd have a quote unquote comfortable existence, but spiritually I know that's not what I'm here for. And I feel like this is a season for me to exercise my patience, because my vision been growing in a bunch of ways, my capabilities been growing in a bunch of ways, but my capability grows in proportion to the vision. So there's no catching up to the vision before the vision grows to another level. For people that have been watching me or just know me personally, like, they know I'm a workaholic. That's my favorite drug. That's the drug that got me out of a bad situation growing up, or what I thought got me out of a bad situation growing up. If I'm uncomfortable with my circumstances, the one thing I can do is work to have better circumstances. But also last year, I was up higher than I've ever been in my entire life. But I was so uncomfortable spiritually. I was spending money so willy-nilly on things. I was so bored. I was not stimulated. I didn't feel anything I was doing was worth it. But my bag was up and I had nice people around me. But realistically, I just was kicking the can down the road with problems I didn't want to deal with at that time. And last year I decided I'm not gonna do that anymore. If I see a symptom of an issue, I'm dealing with the root of it. I refuse to sedate myself from the issue anymore. But shit, that has opened up a whole new can of uncomfortability, bro. And I don't even recognize myself now from who I was last year. And I think that's for the better, but like circumstantially, bro, I feel like I've been making progress since my down season a few months ago, but when I set goals at the maximum capacity. Like right now, I'm basically getting a consultation business off the ground with, you know, my better barbering stuff. If you're a barber, artist, entrepreneur, go and check that out. That I didn't mean to plug it. This video wasn't a plug for it, but it's just like it came up, so might as well. With that, I have all these expectations like, oh, I'm trying to have this many clients in this amount of time. But I'm also realizing, like, with barbering, that's not what I did. Early on, I was like, okay, well, this is a direction that's going to serve me better and I feel more purpose in. I didn't set any expectations of this many clients, this amount of money, my haircuts look like this or whatnot. I just kept seeing where God was leading me and just kept taking steps forward. And over time, it exceeded my expectations. But then I had to grow through different versions of myself through that process. And that took years. But with this new thing, I'm sitting here thinking about, like, what can I do to make it pop off in the next month, in the next 2 months? And then now I'm thinking about it, it's all really coming back to the whole idea of working on my patience in this season. But when I say I don't want to do this shit at all, bro, like, I don't fuck with this right now. I don't like how I feel. But I know dealing with all my shit head on, I'm going to like where I'm going to be. But it's weird, like, I'm homeless and homesick. But the whole time, nothing on this mortal material plane is mine. This shit isn't home. Home isn't where I lay my head. Home is where my heart is. You feel me? And God got my heart. My home is wherever God is. And God's wherever I am. And this has been kind of on my heart for like a week, but I'm not gonna front. The thoughts I ain't really start processing it until I start talking about it on camera, because I really got to think about what I'm saying. I mean, I'm gonna edit all the bullshit out, of course, but low key, creating these videos is turning into something of a spiritual practice for me. Kind of similar to how I started cutting hair. It was a thing that I didn't put any expectations on. It was something that I could feel growing me spiritually, growing. I was growing through the craft. I was always being challenged in new ways. It was always showing me where my new deficiencies were, areas I could improve. And I guess low-key YouTube is doing that for me too. And there's added benefit that certain people resonate with it, and, you know, I get cool feedback. But ultimately, like, I'm doing this for me. Low-key, that just might be what I need to do, is adopt more spiritual practices. Do things, like, instead of doing things for the end result of, oh, I'm trying to make this amount of money and have this end result. Stop being focused on a product. Just get married to the process. Just like how I did with barbering. Every time I record in my car, my camera overheat. But that's low-key my cue to cut this shit short. I've been talking too long. But yeah, I'm in a new journey with new challenges and trials and tribulations. You know what I'm saying? I'm thankful for the opportunity to grow. But I don't like this shit. Not at all. But it's not about me liking it. You know what I'm saying? God ain't put us here for our comfort. He put us here for our growth, for our benefit. So I just got to lean into that. If y'all got some thoughts you want to share, if this resonated with you, feel free to comment them. Like, subscribe if you want to do that. I'm not gonna keep saying I don't care about subscribers. It's like, if people that want to watch will watch. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't mind you subscribing if you felt like it. You feel me? Appreciate y'all again. Till next time, craft of a clout. I'm out.